Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Star Wars Fanatic. I'm wearing a different hat today. Yeah. Let me know if you guys can hear me, and everything looks all right. Don't mind the boxes in the background. We've been decluttering a little bit, and I need to take those out to the garage once I'm finished with this. All right. So, hey, good morning, Dr. Good morning, Dawn. And I'm not seeing Robin in here. Maybe he's not going to make it today. I am drinking my coffee from the mug I got from Disney World. It's the kind of a celebration of the Battle of Endor. I love this thing. I better love it. The drink was $45. Yeah, Bad Batch loves you, Dr. And me, I'm not getting many views off of it. You must be taking all the views. And that's okay. That's fine. I'm just enjoying making the videos, and I hope you are too. Yeah, so who all saw yesterday's episode of The Bad Batch? Um, that's probably my favorite episode so far. Not just because I was right and I get to say I told you so and I get to gloat and all that stuff, but because it built more of the story that I wanted to see. Um, I wanted to see more of the transition from the Republic into the Empire. I thought that was mostly what this story's about, and it turns out it is. So I'm glad of that. Anything without Sid, I'm all for it. Sorry, just don't like Sid. I will complain about her every video I make. Smell profit. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Black Series figures that need to come out now due to that episode. Um, but yeah, I have some predictions on what's going to happen next, and maybe may not culminate until season 2 even. Hey, Sydney81, good to see you. Jonathan M, good to see you. Just reading some of your comments. Sorry, guys. All right, so I'll start this off by saying if you are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. If you enjoy Star Wars as much as I do, we can discuss it all day long, every day. I try to make videos 3 to 4 times a week with a live stream every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. I can't remember if that's GMT minus 4 or 5. I can't remember. It's probably going to change here in the next couple months anyway. So, yeah. Um, we get a lot of people join in on these chats, and I'm enjoying it very much. I love doing these live streams. I do need to do a members only live stream, which, if you aren't familiar, memberships are available for just a small fee. You can help out the channel, and also super chats are available. Every penny that goes into this channel goes back into this channel. So I use it to get new software, new video equipment. Like now, I'm saving up for a new 4K camera. Um, all my money has been spent on Disney World with my family, so now it's back to saving to get the things I need. Um, yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, go on and do that and hit the like button. Everybody jump over and hit that like button real quick. That helps boost this channel a little bit at a time. Oh, you were Moff Gideon. Okay. Okay, Jonathan. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you've been here several times. So everybody say hello and get engaged. Hey, thanks, Dr. It's I had this one custom made. Um, Actually, I had it made a little bit wrong on purpose. If you notice, there's a tooth missing. Um, that is so I know this one is mine, and nobody else has one like it, unless they had one custom made. I am the, I guess, no, I wouldn't call me the toothless Mandalore. That makes no sense because I'm not toothless. Got my choppers. I'm not a genius, Dr. But thank you. Um, I just try to be a little bit original. And this hat, now you guys are going to hear my dog barking. He's going crazy up there. See my hat? I bought this at Disney World. I had to come away with some apparel or something. It's a nifty little stormtrooper hat. Even says stormtrooper underneath. I'm digging it. There were no Mickey Mouse do-rags, DR. Sorry, buddy. Still waiting for somebody to send me one. Told you I'd wear one. So what did y'all think of the Bad Batch yesterday? Then Crosshair's revelation that he had not had the inhibitor chip for quite a while. And that was my prediction a while ago, only I thought his inhibitor chip never worked, but apparently he didn't say it worked in the beginning, he just said he had it removed. So we still don't know if it was working when Order 66 came down. So I'm still holding on to that belief that, he wasn't executing Order 66 because of the order, but rather following orders because he's a soldier. If you all know Crosshair, he doesn't miss unless something interferes with his shot. He doesn't miss. And when he shot at Caleb Doom in the tree, he hit the branch rather than Caleb Doom. Caleb didn't have his lightsaber out to deflect it either. He could have easily hit him and killed him and been over with then, but he didn't. Instead, he knocked him down. That gave Caleb the chance to survive and run. Hey, Bobby, good to see you. What did I think of Camino being destroyed? I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit sad when I saw that. When they showed the empty mess hall and the barracks and the empty birthing tubes and all that stuff, I was like, oh, this is gonna be horrible. And then they started bombarding it, and it kind of tore my heart out not because of the Camp Kaminoans or anything, but because for so long we've been seeing Camp Camino as the birthplace of the clones, their base of operations, stuff like that, their home. That's where they're born. And now we're going into a new era where that's no longer going to be the case. The Kaminoans are going to, I think there's one or two of them only left, and they've been moved off world. And the clones the same way. And when they say relocate, it kind of reminds me of a certain fascist government in World War II that relocated people. So I don't think the clones, at least most of them, are going to survive through this, if they haven't been killed already. Do I believe that Crosshair was a sociopath? Yeah, in a way, kind of. I do also believe he was a soldier, and a soldier first. He did care about his brothers, but he cared about what he was created for more. But as far as like killing innocent people and stuff like that, I saw your comment earlier on that, and yeah, it's horrible. That probably made me believe more of what you were saying. So yeah, killing just innocent people trying to escape the war was the worst thing that probably ever could have been done in wartime. Let's see, Dawn. I think he was told it was removed, but not sure if true. Just like Omega was told she doesn't have one. That could be true as well, but I'd like to see the specifics of it if they ever show it, if it actually was removed, because he does have a scar from that ion blast in that area, and I mean, before that, he might not have even known about the inhibitor chip. So that makes me think it maybe did get removed, because he was told about it. I think he was told about it by his brothers, but he might not have believed it or something like that. And then I don't know. It's all tricky. Euphemism. I think the young clones will be the Inquisitor's foot soldiers, as shown in the Darth Vader comics. That could be too. They could also become those purge troopers as well, that followed around the Inquisitors in Jedi Fallen Order. So just take what were the one clone trooper armor and paint it black, and become purge troopers. So yeah, if anybody else has joined us, just reminding everybody to hit that subscribe button and join the content. Join on in. Hit the like button and all that good stuff. Let's boost this channel a little bit more. I do have some stuff going on in my personal life right now, so I have to check a message. All right. Good there. Yeah, so I don't know. I really love this episode of The Bad Batch, and I do have some theories on it. I feel like the Empire believes that their bombardment of Camino killed Clone Force 99, along with Crosshair, and Omega, and I'm sure they believe everybody died. And at this point, Clone Force 99 had just become a nuisance to the Empire, a minor irritation, and they allowed Crosshair to hunt them down and all that stuff. Instead of them putting full forces on it, they really didn't hire many people to go after them, from what we saw. So I think they believe they're dead. So now the Bad Batch is going to be free to just hide and roam. I don't think Crosshair is going to be okay with that. He was left by his brothers on Camino, then he was left by the Empire on Camino. Either Crosshair is going to go off on his own, or he's going to get killed, and it's going to be a sad death when he does. Yeah, I'm hoping for Boba Fett, DR. I mean, this season it all made sense to bring him in. Instead, they put filler episodes of Sid in it and stuff where they could have filled it with more storyline, moving Omega's story and moving Fennec Shan's story and the Bad Batch, which I'm still hoping for Clan Scarada. I'm praying for it. That's what I'm hoping for. I didn't know there was a season 2 trailer yet. I will have to check that out. Let's see. Those Purge Troopers were clones. Um, DR, I'm not sure, but I think that it would be safe to say right now that they could be clones. That's just a speculation, really, and a theory. But yeah, we're inching closer to the book of Boba Fett, so awesome. And we're also inching closer to Visions, which I'm not a big anime freak. I don't like anime so much. I never really got into it. I tried all the way through its popularity in the early 90s, mid 90s, late 80s, all the way through the 2000s. I tried everything, and I couldn't get into it. It's the art style and the oh and all that stuff and whoa. I don't like the expressions, so hopefully they don't have those in the Star Wars anime, and hopefully I can get into it and just follow the story rather than be freaked out by the horrible acting in it and dubbing and all that. Atomic Beast, I'd hope so. They did introduce Dirge into the comic books in the Dr. Aphra comics. I'd like to see what happened to Dirge after that because he got sucked out of an airlock. Um, I am hoping to see him back in some kind of animation or live action or something like that. The season 2 setup, I can see that being more about them roaming the galaxy and getting into trouble and stuff like that, or saving people, or I'm just hoping it's not going to be boring like the off episodes of The Mandalorian, where every other episode he was rescuing some village from some big bad, and it didn't really push the story forward. I'm hoping it doesn't become like that. I'm hoping either I don't want them to join the rebellion. Everybody seems to join the rebellion that gets away from the Empire. I want them to become Clan Scarada, and I'd like to see that story build. Make a fanatic out of context video, huh, DR? Yeah. So back to the vision stuff. I'm hesitantly excited for it. If that makes sense. I know it's an oxymoron. Um, Not up for the animation style, but let's try it out. Let's see what it does. I've recently been watching the Lego Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus, the Freemaker Adventures and the All Stars and all that stuff, and they're actually quite good. I know they're not canon or anything, but they're good to fill my time with. Yeah, yeah. Help the rebellion. Maybe maybe run into Ahsoka or something. Say, hey, Rex is over there. Go help him out or something. We're not going to join you. We can't join a rebellion against this kind of thing. We tried it. It sucked. We were split and all this stuff, and we're going to go do our own thing and run into Boba Fett. And then Boba Fett says, hey, there's this guy. He's now a Mandalorian. My father trained him. Let's go check him out. DR agreed. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more of the World Between Worlds, but I think it got destroyed when they destroyed the Jedi Temple on Lothal. Everybody's wanting the World Between Worlds to come back, and me included, but I don't see that really happening because of that temple being destroyed. We've never seen any instance of the World Between Worlds on any other location. Which droid show are you talking about, DR? I haven't seen that one. Is it one of the Lego series? Because I haven't watched all of them yet. But I will tell y'all what. But I'll tell y'all what. Man, I rhyme. I'm such a poet. I've been reading this lately. I'm just picking through stories that I want to read. And there's a really good one about Boba Fett in there. And it is called, I think it's called Wait For It. The story is called, yeah, the story's called Wait For It. And it's really good. It tells of Boba Fett going to the Empire during the Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader calls for him to hunt down the Millennium Falcon, and what happens when he lands on the Star Destroyer, or Super Star Destroyer, really, and his interactions with the other bounty hunters while they wait for to be escorted to where Vader's going to talk to him. Oh, the old droids cartoon. Ugh, man. I watched those back when they came out. I think I was still a teenager, just becoming a teenager or something. Um, and yeah, that and the Ewoks show. And I don't see me watching those unless I'm watching with my grandkids or something. Yes, Dawn, it's poetry. It rhymes. Each stanza rhyming with the last. Oh, cool. Yeah, DR, if you're going to get into the War of the Bounty Hunter comics, um, you're going to be buying a lot of comics. I mean, unless you just stick with the War of the Bounty Hunter comics, you can get through it with that. But every other comic series is developing that story as well. So you'd have to get the Darth Vader, the Dr. Aphra, the Bounty Hunters, which is an offshoot of that's the beginning of the War of the Bounty Hunters, really. The War of the Bounty Hunters, and now there's a Jabba the Hutt series out. So you'd have to get all those to get the complete story, and it's quite a story. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they need those cloners, the Nalase and all that, to help them develop what they're going to do with Palpatine's contingency plan, of cloning himself and cloning Snoke and all that stuff. And yeah, I'd like to see the Zillo Beast be cloned. Bring that thing back. Put it back on the Doug homeworld. Yeah, because Sydney, good point. Because Palpatine did say he learned everything he could from his master and then killed him, but pretended he didn't know how to extend his own life and cheat death and all that stuff. But obviously he did, or he would not have killed his master. Darth Plagueis. Oh, okay. You're talking about the Bounty Hunter series comics or Bounty Hunter series novels. I do have a couple of those on Audible, and I listened to one of them, and they're really good. They're really really good, but they don't follow the new canon. So just keep an open mind when you read them that um, they're a little different than what canon is. Like Dengar's character is a little different, and so on and so forth. Just reading you guys' comments. Sorry. Yeah, wouldn't that be something, Atomic Beast, if there was still a clone of Plagueis somewhere out there and he inhabited it? Um, I think they explained it that he was killed too quickly and he didn't have enough time to prepare to do that. But you know how stories go in Star Wars, they can be changed at a moment's notice. So, I mean, Plagueis coming back, I guess that wouldn't really make too much sense because Plagueis' whole thing would be revenge against Palpatine since he is a Sith. And same thing with Palpatine with Maul. He got after Maul and tried to take him out. Yeah, they are. They're really good books. It's a trilogy, the Bounty Hunters series. Yeah, that's a good thing about headcanon, DR, is you can make anything canon that you want. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about Star Wars is there's so many stories out there. You can pick and choose what you want to believe and what you want to be the canon. Everybody doesn't have to be upset that somebody else thinks something else is canon because you have your own ideas. The stories keep getting made and you pick and choose and you like what you like. A lot of people haven't seen The Mandalorian, so they're not hurting from it. It would help them if they did watch it just because it's an awesome show. Yeah, so how's everybody's week been? This was my first week back to work. We've lost a couple of my colleagues, so it's just been me and one other guy supervising everything. And most of the time it's just me. So it's been pretty rough. Cloning and Sith dark magic to live on forever. It makes sense why Palpatine had cloning plan in place because Plagueis showed him. Yeah, absolutely. He learned it all from Plagueis. So, not sure who Plagueis used for his cloner, if he had one. Yeah, I'm happy the streams are back too. Um, yeah, it's a good way for me to just interact with you guys, get to know everybody, and everybody get to know me a little bit better. And um, yeah, oh, speaking of getting to know my viewership a little bit better, I had an interaction with a certain famous Star Wars YouTuber this week. That was interesting. Um, so this guy, I used to love his content, loved it to no end. Came up with really good fan fictions, even paid for making the movies himself and all this stuff. Um, and lately, he's just been negative. It's just been dogging the sequel trilogy and just being really negative about Star Wars like that. And there's so much more positive stuff about Star Wars to be had that you don't need to focus on all the negative all the time. But if it's getting him viewers, then fine by me, whatever. So I commented on one of his videos because he said, this isn't George Lucas's Star Wars and all this stuff. I said, it isn't George Lucas's Star Wars because George Lucas sold Star Wars. Um, it's kind of like me selling a car. I can't tell that next person what they can and can't do with a car after I've sold it to them. It's none of my business. I can't tell them how they can modify it and how they can't. Same with me. If I buy a car from somebody, they can't tell me how to use it. I'm sure there are certain things we want to keep in place in the Star Wars universe as you would with a car. You still want 4 tires on a car and a steering wheel. You still want seats. You want to be protected. But the other things like the stereo, what size engine's in it and stuff like that don't really matter. They're that person's to do with whatever they want. So I commented stuff like that on this video, and he responded. I'll tell you in just a minute, DR. And he responded, he said, "Who are you to tell me what my headcanon can and can't be? I don't tell you what yours is and all this." And I don't know. I saved screenshots of it because I thought it was funny. Give me just a second and I'll find those real quick. "Why you care what my headcanon is? I don't care what yours is. More power to you if you enjoy it. George Lucas' Star Wars is a thing, considering the sequels deviated from his plan for the sequels." And that may be so, but if anybody remembers when The Force Awakens first came out, George Lucas talked about how they went away from his plans for the new trilogy. And he said at that time that his plans for the new trilogy were about the next generation coming up, that Luke was going to be a mentor and all this stuff, but it was going to be more about midichlorians and what drove them and microscopic beings and all this stuff that everybody hated about the prequels. So to me, that was a good thing that he didn't get his way. Then after The Rise of Skywalker came out, he goes, no. I was going to make it about Darth Maul being the big bad guy and all this stuff, and it was going to be this and that. And then everybody's like, ooh, George Lucas, it sounds so much better. But everybody forgets that George Lucas has already flip-flopped on what his story was going to be. Let's see. Let me read some comments here. Yeah, Dawn, I just started getting employees. We were running so low and nobody was applying for jobs. Yeah, DR, that's what George Lucas said it was going to be. So I'll tell you guys who it was that I had this interaction with. But first, I'll tell you the actual comment I made on his video. If I did screenshot, okay. I said, quote, "George Lucas Star Wars. That kills me. George Lucas sold it. He didn't want to continue to make Star Wars movies nor stories. Like the sequels or hate them. They are what we have, and calling it fan fiction is just denial. There was a lot that didn't make sense in the prequels, but they were explained in expanded material. Now, you're rejecting expanded material and call it fan fiction because it's the sequels." That was Star Wars Theory. Big drum bop, or bomb drop. Yeah, my dyslexia kicked in for a moment. Big bomb drop on that one. It was Star Wars Theory. And, I mean, the guy does what he does. I'm not going to put him down for it. He's got 3.4 million subscribers. I've got 4.7 thousand. Small potatoes compared to him. I'm surprised he even commented on somebody so small as me. I really thought it was funny. And I talked with a coworker of mine that loves Star Wars as well, and he used to love Star Wars Theory. And I said, "Hey, look at this." And the guy said, "Well, maybe he'll make a reaction video crying about it." I just started laughing. I said, no, let's not get into that. But yeah, so that was my interaction with Star Wars Theory, my one and only, and probably my last. Not because I'm not going to comment on his videos, but because he probably won't take the time to even bother. No, I never met Star Wars Theory. No. He lives in Canada. Way down here in the United States. So, I mean, I'd meet him. I'd say hi to him, shake his hand, and say, "Good job on your Vader fan fictions. I loved them." Yeah, I've pre-ordered the Costco Reeves Black Series figure, so that should be in like October or September or something. So I will have all the Mandalorians that have been released, other than um, the Mandalorian Super Commando and the Mandalorian Loyalist. Those are the only two I haven't got. And I don't know why I haven't got them yet. I could get them. They're just right now they're really pricey, so I'm hoping to re-release them at some point. Um, yeah, so I mean, I didn't care that Star Wars Theory was upset by my comment. I mean, dude, you got 3.4 million followers. I'm pretty sure you're going to get negative comments once in a while. You're in the public eye. It happens. Oh, thanks, DR. Yeah, yeah. Nobody likes a brown noser, though. I do appreciate that. I don't know if I'm better than him. He has way more money to do what he wants with his channel than I do. I have to keep it pretty simple for now. Maybe one day I'll be a big production like him and have an entire room dedicated to my YouTube channel. But right now I just have this tiny little desk and a laptop. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Sydney. I have, if you can see it, let me see if I can shift to the correct side here. That cabinet behind me over there is my Black Series cabinet. Over on the other cabinet, everything's mirrored on this camera. Sorry, that is my Black Series probe droid, and right next to it is my Black Series dewback. Um, I've got probably 60 figures in all. But I've slowed down collecting them because now I'm going to start focusing on just different things. Like originally when I started, I just wanted to do Stormtroopers and Mandalorians, variants of Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers, stuff like that. But I wound up with like three Darth Vaders, um, a Palpatine on his throne, and Thrawn, and an Ewok, and all this stuff, and Ahsoka. And then, hey, thanks, Javier. And it just my collection blew up. So now I'm just going to focus on Mandalorians. I think I have enough Stormtroopers, unless they come out with the transition Stormtrooper. Then I'm definitely going to have to get one of those. Um, yeah, so I will have to get one of those. And just to reiterate, guys, the super chats are working. So if anybody donates money to the channel, I'm not begging for money by any means, but just giving you options. If anybody donates money to the channel, it does go straight back into the channel. I am saving up for a 4K camera. I have a 1080p right now, um, and I have a really good internet connection. As you can see, I'm not lagging or anything like that because I have fixed my internet connection. Um, Everything's going well with that, so I think a 4K camera would help out with this channel quite a bit. I do have some lighting and stuff that I'll be putting in, and Disney pretty much broke me, so now I have to save money again to get all the equipment necessary to expand a little bit. Send money for do-rag. Oh, that's awesome, Don. We're I think next month our Cincinnati comic book convention is back on schedule, so I will be hopefully attending that with my older son, and maybe my younger son edits if he wants to go too. He might be on here. I don't know. Let me text him real quick, see if he's on. All right, there. See if edits can say hi to everybody. DR, I mean, we should be expecting a trailer anytime. I'd say next month, though. They're not going to put it out too soon, unless they're going to put out multiple trailers, because they're going to have to hype it up quite a bit. And I think they'll wait a little bit closer to when it's being released so they don't have to keep putting out new trailers, revisions of trailers, and stuff like that. Um, Two or three trailers should do it from September through December. But I'm crazy, can't wait for it. That's a possibility too. Yeah, I can't wait though. I mean, whenever it comes. It better get here soon because I mean I'm just my channel is about Boba Fett mostly and Mandalorians, and I really need some more content to talk about. These War of the Bounty Hunters things are awesome to talk about, but a lot of casual fans don't care about the comic books. They don't care about cartoons or animated series or anything like that. They want the live action stuff, and I'm with them. I want the live action stuff too. The other stuff's just holding me over until that happens. Yeah, Don, that's awesome. At our Cincinnati comic book convention, that's where I met the guy that did Greedo. He also did the voice of Salacious Crumb. I met Peter Mayhew quite a few years ago at it. Uh, Huge man. My God, he is so tall. Just sitting down, he was still taller than an average person. And I'm 6'5", so when I say somebody's tall, they're just wow. Um, but he was super nice, like the nicest celebrity I had ever met. Uh, you could tell he was having some health issues at that time because he didn't get up too much, and I know he had knee surgery right before the Force Awakens and stuff like that. Smell profit. Let's smell profit. Yeah, I'm hoping Hondo's going to be in the book of Boba Fett. Uh, Don and I had discussed this before that uh, that it makes sense to have Hondo in there. He's probably the last living person, if he's still alive, that knew Jango Fett and knew him pretty well. Knew him well enough to know that Boba would want his ship. So, and if you've seen my fan fictions, I talk about Hondo knowing Jango and being really close to Jango. So I'm hoping something like that develops and we find out about that. Because I think it'd be a really cool arc. And maybe even go back in time and see Hondo and Jango interact a little bit and all that. Yeah, yeah, I'm not really big on the Luke thing. It, I understand they're trying to encompass and bring in all the Star Wars fans they can into the Mandalorian and stuff like that. But to me, just bringing in Luke was like a Deus Ex Machina. Just how are we gonna get out of the situation? There's no way here. Throw a ghost in the machine. This is how we get out of it. Luke Skywalker saves the day. Um, yeah, it did make sense because Grogu called out for a Jedi to come save him, but at that time there were Cal Kestis, there's Ahsoka, there's assuming Cal's still alive. Ahsoka denied him, and there's Ezra somewhere out there, so it didn't have to be Luke. Dr, you're killing me with that. And Don, yeah, if you get a picture of you and Giancarlo Giancarlo Esposito, please send it on to me. I'd love to see that because from what I hear, he's a really nice guy and really great with the fans. Um, and so I'd love to meet him one day. Maybe I'm a be a big enough YouTube channel where I could interview people like him um, and what's his name? Not Pablo Escobar. Pedro Pascal. Maybe I could interview him and even Tamira Morrison because Tamira is another one that's really great with his fans and stuff like that. So I'd like to interview some of these people. One day I'd like to interview Dave Filoni even or Pablo Hidalgo, just to get in their mind a little bit and talk about some of my theories and see if they could either confirm them, deny them, or just say, "Yeah, you'll have to see." Well, I'm glad you liked it, Bobby. A lot of people love Luke, but all through the original trilogy when I was growing up, Luke wasn't my favorite character. I understood the story was about him and Anakin and Darth Vader, and I'm glad we had that story. I'm glad we had the relationship between Luke and Vader at the end and stuff like that. But I think Luke was just a bit too whiny. So I liked the silent tough guys. I liked Vader. He was a man of few words too, and just used his power. And Boba Fett just really didn't talk and just had that presence. I've always been more of a bad guy person anyway. When I was into GI Joe as a kid, I liked Cobra more than I liked the Joes because The Joes just looked bland, and Cobra had the cooler uniforms. Oh, sorry, Don. Oh, good, DR. You're coming around to the good side of Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back's my favorite. That's my favorite movie of all of them. Um, but that's not saying I dislike any of them because I like them all. Um, Hang on just one second. I keep getting texts. All right. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, I was hoping it was Ezra at the end of The Mandalorian too. Um, but I think if you've seen any of my fan fictions or anything, or any of my theories and stuff, I think Ezra and Thrawn are going to come in, drawn in by Ahsoka and Sabine and stuff like that, and they're going to find that the galaxy has changed. Um, they're going to see the galaxy has changed and the Jedi are almost gone. Well, Ezra already knew that, but he and Thrawn probably have been working together in the unknown regions fighting the Grisk, and developed a relationship there, a mutual understanding or respect for each other, rather than maybe not a friendship or a kinship, but a tighter bond than what they were as enemies. And when they come back, they're going to see that everything's changed. The Empire isn't what Thrawn remembered it, and he feels left out. Um, and there's more important matters in the unknown region, and Ezra may feel like, that job isn't complete, and both of them retract back to the unknown regions to help fight the Grisk. Hey, Allison, good to see you. Wedge Antilles is your favorite. I really like how Stockpole fleshed out, but for the most part, yeah, bad guys are more interesting. Yeah, I liked Wedge too. He was another one of those strong, silent ones. You knew the job was going to get done if Wedge was involved, and he didn't really talk that much. So, yeah, he was a good character. I think the Vong are now the Grisk, if I'm understanding the stories correctly. They just changed their names. Don, I don't know if it won't have the patience for it, but he is a really busy person trying to hunt down Jedi artifacts and Sith lore and stuff like that. And Grogu may just be slowing him down if he's trying to train him and stuff like that, because he'd have to sit down and teach Grogu. I know a lot of Jedi were taught during adventures and stuff like that, and I keep saying stuff like that, and it's really annoying myself. So I'm sorry, guys, if it's annoying. Um, like Anakin was trained during the Clone Wars, pretty much, uh, or just before it, and then Obi Wan was trained more during a peaceful time. But I mean, you had Ahsoka trained during the Clone Wars, so it's possible that Luke could do it. But I think it's going to be more of a Grogu isn't really Luke's first apprentice, like everybody's assuming. I I think the story's going to stick with Kylo Ren being his first apprentice, or Ben Solo. Yeah, Allison, sorry. It it kind of halfway subverted my own theory as well about Crosshair chip never activating, but he never said it activated. He just said he had it removed. So originally I thought his chip wasn't working and he was acting on his own accord, but now we know at least half the time he's been working on his own accord. Yeah, yeah, Sydney. I'd love to see a series about that, about their time in the unknown regions. I'm hoping it's not all going to come in novel format, um, because I do have all five novels that are out now and waiting for the last one from Thrawn. Um, but I'm hoping that we do get to see them live action, since Ezra and Thrawn are now cast, and it's looking very promising for that. Ooh, yeah, DR, that'd be cool. I'd like to see that myself. And maybe even Force Ghost Obi-Wan jumping in to help out a little bit. Yoda to be goofy. He wasn't goofy, he was crazy. You just watch The Empire Strikes Back, he was a little bit nuts. He'd been in solitude for 20 years, and that alone time really gets to you. No matter how many Force Ghosts you commune with during that time, you don't have any live person there with you. So you kind of go a little batty. And when by the time he sees Luke, he's like all excited to see a person. And he's like, and he's all goofy and playing mind games with him and stuff and manipulating him. And never mind, I'm not going to get into that. What do you mean, Tyler? I haven't watched the What If Marvel series yet. Um, I know I did see some comics of it at the comic book store yesterday. Yeah, it's a really good one, DR. That's Empire Strikes Back's my favorite, especially with surround sound in the beginning when all the probe droids are being sent out to the different systems. I mean, I can hear them whizzing by my head and everything. And it's really cool. Um, on surround sound, Darth Vader's voice is just deeper. Yoda sees a person. I smell conversations. Yeah, Force Ghost can't hug a baby, Allison. That's correct. Like, what if Qui Gon never died? Yeah, I mean, a lot of YouTubers are doing those videos too. So maybe Disney will pick it up and show different things in either comic format or animation or something like that. I'm hoping they don't make it canon though, because that's going to make the new canon just as confusing as the old expanded universe, where there's different levels of canon, and all of them contradicted one another. And I mean, everybody can complain about the old expanded universe being taken out and made legends all they want, but there was a lot of it that really needed to be taken out. They could have picked and choose some of it to stick around, like the Plagueis stuff and the Old Republic stuff. That all could have stuck around. But as far as the stuff with Luke Skywalker and the Empire and stuff and all that, it could have it needed to be wiped clean and just redone because there were so many different stories contradicting one another. Smell carbonite. Yeah, so I just don't want it to get convoluted like that again and then get wiped clean and people saying, well, those are my favorite stories. I wish they wouldn't have wiped them clean. I hate Disney and and all that. But I'll tell you this: as far as everybody can say what they want about Disney and Star Wars and being profit machines, and yeah, I mean that's kind of the way it goes with capitalism. You try to generate a profit. You give people what they want in order to get that profit, and by them giving me what I want as far as merchandise and action figures and stuff like that, I'm not going to complain about getting more action figures. I'm not going to complain about them releasing stuff that I've wanted to see for so long. And I'm definitely not going to complain about Galaxy's Edge. That was just amazing. Galaxy's Edge was so cool. And Disney did everything they could to incorporate me into the Galaxy's Edge story and entertain me the entire time I was there. Was it expensive? Hell yeah, it was expensive. Crazy expensive. I can't do that every year. I can't do it probably every 5 years or so. But it was a good experience for that one time that I did get to go. And I would love to go again. If I will or not, that remains to be seen. But they definitely earned the money when they did that. And I can only imagine it would be even better if we didn't have the COVID restrictions that we have now. The characters would have been out walking around and interacting, and it was just it was an amazing time. So I'm not going to complain about Disney being profit machines when they're giving me a product. Now, if they were just selling prints of different shows or movies or something, and not even giving you a frame for it or anything, and charging jacked up prices like $250 for a print, yeah, I'd have something to say about it. I'd be upset about it. But they're actually giving me stuff that I want. They're actually giving fans stuff they want. Maybe the sequels weren't what everybody wanted, but The Mandalorian is something most fans can agree on. The Bad Batch is something most fans can agree on. The Book of Boba Fett coming out, I'm sure most fans will agree with that. It's 3 movies that people are having a problem with. And Disney is a profit machine because they're a business. And just like I'm a business here. I'm not generating much profit, but that's okay. I love what I do. And I'm small beans. If I had the money Disney had, trust me, I'd be wanting a profit in return too. And let me look over some of your comments. Sorry. Allison, Harrison Ford being sexy sweaty, huh? If that's what you think carbonite smells like, then be my guest and enjoy that. Let's see, Sydney. I like how they choose bits of Legends. Wow, everything just jumped up real quick. To put into the new stuff, like the Crate Dragon and Tusken Raiders was straight out of Knights of the Old Republic. And the Pearl, the Crate Dragon Pearl. That was a great instance. And then we have Thrawn that's in the new stuff. And he was from Legends. I mean, he's pretty much what sparked Legends to happen, the expanded universe. Revitalized Star Wars in that time. So, yeah. Well, I told you so. There's people who go like every week and buy everything at Galaxy's Edge, and I'm here like, those prices are more scary than Vader and Rogue One. They are. The prices are really scary. I mean, just this little holocron was $50, and it doesn't work all the time, but when it does, it's pretty cool. If I can get it to work. It worked for me yesterday, so let's see what we can do. If you can hear the weird sounds it makes, and it does light up and all that good poop. And it's gonna make me look stupid. So, come on, come on, come on. You did it. You did it yesterday. Out of nowhere, it did it. All right. Cool. It's making me a liar again. So, here we go. But I like the holocron. It's pretty cool. Sometimes I'll leave it on for the creepy ambiance. Boba with the Darksaber. I'd like to see Boba with the Darksaber, but I'd also like to see him destroy it, honestly. Smells like Zeb. Yeah, I just watched an episode of Rebels the other day, and Zeb was in a little box, and he gets out. He's like, ugh, ugh. They're like, what? You could breathe in there? He goes, yeah, but have you smelled me? No, not at all, Tyler. I mean, there were only bits and pieces of Legends that I cared about. The Boba Fett stuff, the Jango Fett stuff. I liked all that, and I liked the Thrawn stuff. But the rest of it, I just wasn't into. I didn't like the idea of Mara Jade. I'm sorry. I know that she's a popular character and everybody wants to see her back. I didn't like the idea of it. It kind of took away from the meaning of Luke Skywalker to me. um, hey, good luck to you, Bobby. Have a good day. Yeah, that's what we're all banking on here at this channel, is that Boba Fett will have the Darksaber, or Boba Fett will have a large role in The Mandalorian and bringing Mandalorians together. And I think the first one step in bringing them together is destroying the Darksaber, because it's been so divisive. It would stop other clans from saying, uh-oh, let's take the Darksaber and just rule. It would eliminate that. All right, guys. I'd hate to do this, but I do have to cut it short. I have a grandson's birthday party to go to today. It's been a real blast being with you guys, as always. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay up to date when I release my new content. It's all about Star Wars here. Also, hit the like button, and don't forget memberships are available. So if you want to become a member, I am trying to work on stuff to get to members only, and I'm also going to work on getting a Patreon page going. So let's see what we can do with that. And thank you. If you wouldn't mind, share the video with some friends. Let's boost this channel up a little bit more. Get it going, blow it out of the water. All right? And until next time, thank you guys. I appreciate every one of you. Have a great day. And remember,